Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you are a business owner here in Dubai, you're the hero of your own growth story. But let's just be completely honest for a second. The landscape you are navigating right now is an absolute minefield. You know that hiring a marketing agency should equal growth. I mean, that's the whole point, right? But too often you sign this massive 12-month contract, and what do you actually get? Some pretty social media posts, a thick, confusing report filled with numbers that don't make sense, and absolutely zero connection to real revenue. We call this the Dubai marketing illusion. And today, we are going to completely shatter that illusion and show you exactly how to find the right guide to actually grow your business.
Okay, let's dive into this. The sheer scale of the challenge you're up against is staggering. Just look at this number. In 2024 alone, over 71,000 new companies joined the Dubai Chamber of Commerce. That isn't just a fun piece of trivia. That is a deafening amount of noise. Every single year, thousands of new businesses are fighting for the exact same Google rankings and the exact same social media attention as you are. Your competitors, they aren't just the shops down the street anymore. We're talking about global heavyweights and hyper-specialized freelancers, all screaming for your customers' attention. Competition for your customers is literally fiercer than ever.
And then you add in the 12.5 million active social media identities in the UAE. Think about that for a second. A potential customer can swipe past you and land on a competitor in a fraction of a second. This is exactly why bad marketing is so lethal. You could have the absolute best product in the Emirates. Seriously, a true diamond. But if your market can't see it shining in the dirt, it doesn't matter. Being good is completely irrelevant if you're invisible. So choosing the wrong agency just drains the exact budget you need to survive and fight another day.
To survive all this, a real agency acts as your guide, and they do three very distinct jobs. First, they create demand. That means making people want your product before they even know they need it. Second, they capture demand, so making sure you pop up the exact second someone searches for a solution. And third, they convert demand, which means turning that click into cold hard cash or a booked meeting. Now, a weak agency, they're like a broken bridge. They might buy you a bunch of cheap clicks, but they totally ignore your broken website, basically sending all that traffic straight off a cliff.
Which brings us to the very first real step of your hero's journey, diagnosing your actual villain. You've got to stop buying random marketing services just because a competitor is doing it, or because some online guru said you just have to do TikTok dances. No, you need to figure out where your business is actually bleeding. Is it that nobody knows who you are? Are you getting a ton of clicks but absolutely zero sales? Or maybe leads are pouring in but your sales team just can't close them. A real agency diagnoses the disease before they ever try to prescribe you the pills. And this brilliantly illustrates why your strategy must always dictate the services you buy. Picture a local restaurant. Their absolute lifeline is weekday reservations, right? So they need Google Maps optimization, local food influencers, and highly geo-targeted ads. Now, compare that to a corporate software company that's hunting for massive enterprise contracts. They don't need food influencers. They need deep dive industry reports, aggressive LinkedIn outreach, and serious CRM tracking. If an agency walks in and tries to sell both of these businesses the exact same 12 posts a month generic package, run away. Fast.
In fact, before an agency even dares to hand you a proposal, they absolutely must understand the commercial reality of your business. How do you actually make your money? Who exactly is your ideal customer? And what does their buying journey actually look like? They need to know your most profitable offer. They need to know the lifetime value of a single client. Heck, they need to know if your sales team can even handle a sudden flood of new leads. If they're happily ready to take your money without asking these 7 crucial questions, they aren't selling you a strategy. They are selling you the illusion.
So, now we reach a critical turning point. You are sitting at the table, about to hand over your hard-earned capital. How do you interrogate this agency to make absolutely sure they are the right guide for your story? Well, you need to arm yourself with questions that immediately separate the professionals from the pretenders. Ask them flat out, what problem do you think we need to solve first? That proves if they actually listen to a word you said. Even better, ask them, which services should we not buy yet? A trustworthy partner will actually fight to protect your budget, not just spend it.
And as you interrogate them, you need to be on high alert for some massive red flags. Do they promise guaranteed sales or guaranteed viral videos? Yeah, walk away. No one can guarantee that. Are they promising thousands of high-quality leads from your pennies? It's a trap, for sure. Watch out if they hand you the exact same cookie-cutter proposal they clearly just copied and pasted from a totally different industry. And listen to me, this is the most important one. If they ever refuse to give you admin access to your own accounts, hit the brakes immediately. Actually, speaking of accounts, you must fiercely protect your digital kingdom.
Your company's digital assets should never, under any circumstances, be held hostage in some random employee's personal profile or owned by the agency itself. You've got to set everything up with company-controlled emails. You must own your domain, your Google Analytics, your Meta Business Manager, the whole shebang. A true partner agency? They never fear a client holding the keys. They act as the trusted manager of your estate, not the warden of a prison.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it anchors you in your specific commercial stage when it comes to budget. A scrappy local startup has absolutely no business trying to copy the marketing budget of a massive regional enterprise. A focused, tight startup campaign might cost you somewhere between 8,000 and 22,000 dirhams in total. But if you're an established SME and you are aiming for aggressive multi-channel growth, you should realistically be expecting to invest 40,000 to 125,000 dirhams between your agency fees and your ad spend. Your budget planning has to be rooted in your actual reality, not just picking from an agency's arbitrary gold, silver, or bronze pricing tiers.
You also really need to understand how they charge you, because their pricing model directly dictates their motivation. A monthly retainer? Great for steady, predictable growth, but it's super risky if it just evolves into a lazy monthly checklist for them. Project-based pricing is perfect if you just need a one-off website built, but it isn't going to cover your long-term SEO needs. And be especially careful of agencies charging a percentage of ad spend. Why? Because their main incentive is just to convince you to spend more money on ads, whether those ads are actually working or not. You have to ensure their pricing aligns with your business winning.
And that leads us straight into a massive trap, shopping on price alone. Imagine Agency A charges 8,000 dirhams a month for, a dozen social posts and a basic PDF report. Agency B charges 22,000, but they are fully integrating your CRM, running high-level Google Ads, and building out a comprehensive strategy. Now, Agency A feels much safer to your wallet. But if your business is starving for actual qualified sales leads, those 12 cute social posts aren't going to do a thing. Wasting 8,000 dirhams every single month to solve the completely wrong problem is quite literally the most expensive mistake you can make.
So the crucial point is, when the month ends, how do you actually know if you're winning? You do not want a dashboard stuffed with vanity metrics. Empty likes and video views do not pay payroll. A truly meaningful report delivers commercial truth. It should boldly tell you exactly what happened, why it happened, the hard lessons learned, the specific pivot for next month, and most importantly, the actual business impact. I don't want to see likes. Show me the qualified leads, show me the sales pipeline, and show me the revenue.
To actually get those elite results, the agency needs a highly disciplined onboarding blueprint. It shouldn't just be this chaotic rush to post some generic graphic on day one just to prove they're doing something. A strong partner uses a real, phased system. Deep discovery of your business model, securing all your access, defining immediate strategic priorities, moving into precise production, launching controlled tests to gather real data, and finally, a commercial review. This isn't just a to-do list, it's an integrated growth machine built for long-term victory.
And speaking of that commercial review, here is the golden rule you cannot skip. You must define exactly what a qualified lead is before you spend a single dirham on ads. If your sales and marketing teams don't agree on the required budget, the location, or the timeline of an ideal buyer, you are walking into a nightmare scenario. Marketing will be popping champagne because they drove 100 leads, while sales is literally pulling their hair out because none of those leads have any money to spend. A shared definition unites the whole team.
Which brings us to the resolution of your journey. The promised land for you, the business owner, isn't just having a really busy Instagram feed. You are hiring an agency to fundamentally change how the market discovers you, how they understand your unique value, how they trust your authority, and ultimately why they choose you over all that noise we talked about earlier. That is what shatters the Dubai marketing illusion. It takes clear business thinking, ruthless execution, and a system firmly anchored in commercial reality.
So as you sit back and evaluate your current marketing efforts, or as you prepare to go out and hire your next agency, I want to leave you with one final provocative question. Is your agency actually building a connected revenue-driving growth system? Or are they just keeping busy and charging you for the illusion? Because the right guide won't just be another annoying line item on your expense sheet. They're going to be the absolute engine of your growth. Thanks so much for joining me in this explainer. Here's to making sure your business is truly seen and, more importantly, chosen.